Good morning, everybody. Joe, good morning. First one in this morning. Been at work since 4 a.m. Bless you, man. Stephen Manis, good morning. Hope you're doing well, Stephen. Robert, good morning. Mike, good to see you this morning. One more beer, good morning. Stephen's back to work. I bet it is tiring, brother. Hang in there. Jeremy, good morning. Brock Stewart, good morning. Good to have you. And it is starting to get a little daylight outside. I'm inside this morning. It was storm. We got a little storm yesterday afternoon, and this morning I walked out there and it's still looking that way. So I decided to just stay in here this morning. Little gray skies out there, what it looks like anyway, but we'll see how it turns out. Mark Summers, good morning. Good to have all of you. I'm in here a minute or two early. We'll give it another minute or so, let some more folks get in here, and then we'll talk about a few barbecue things and then anything else you guys want to talk about. Got a couple of good little topics we can talk about this morning. Hope everybody had a good Saturday yesterday. Dean, good morning. Miss Rhonda, good morning. Miss Rhonda cooked her a pork butt yesterday. I was not on the golf course yesterday in Atlanta. I was in my backyard cooking 2 pork butts. We'll talk about that cook here in a little bit too. A little iron bean coffee to wake you up in the mornings. A little rage in my cup. Canadian Jim, good morning. Great to have you this morning. How's the weather up there? All right, pretty good crowd. Guys, if you will, make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. I appreciate that. YouTube appreciates that. Really helps me out a lot. It's right below the screen down there somewhere, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe after you get off of it or something. I'm not real sure about the live stream. I think my screen might look different than yours, but Jace, good morning, brother. Me and Jace corresponded a little bit yesterday. Looks like he's going to have a good day today cooking a chuck roast. 18 Celsius. Now, Jim, you know that us Americans don't have a clue what 18 Celsius is. Was that probably about 70-ish? I would imagine. I cooked a 9-pound pork butt to take to our friend's cabin in Minnesota this week. Can't wait to share it with them. That's awesome. That's going to be good stuff. Appreciate that, Mike. Close. Oh, man. Well, let's go ahead and get started. First off, mailbag. I want to thank Justin Stanley. That joker, he's all the time. I'm always getting a surprise. 64 degrees. Thank you, Stephen. Oh, that was close. Plus or minus 10 degrees, I'm good. He's always giving me a little surprise at the door. And yesterday, was it yesterday or Friday? Might have been Friday. I get a package at the door, and it's some more sauces These look really cool. Heartbeat hot sauce. Heartbeat hot sauce. Thunder Bay, Ontario. From Thunder Bay, Ontario. So there you go, Canadian Jim. These are really cool. Small batch fermenters. This one, we'll start off with this one. This one says made with Forgotten Lake Blueberry Ale. And this one's called Blueberry Habanero. But what's cool about it is, first of all, I love the containers that they're in. They're like little squeeze bottles. And they got a little squeezable tip on it so you can squeeze it out. I like that a lot. Really like that. But then also on here, they've got the batch number on there. So this is right there. This is batch number 21 for this one. Blueberry Habanero. That's going to be good on something that I'm going to try. Now this one, Red Habanero. Habanero Rouge Picante. This is batch number 125. This looks really good too. I bet it's got a little bit of heat to it. But we're definitely going to try that out on something as well. And then the green one, Jalapeno Picante. And this is batch number 47. So really cool stuff, Justin. Thank you so much for this. This is pretty cool. And I love these little containers, these little bottles, squeeze bottles. And even after I get through with these, I'm probably going to save these squeeze bottles for something because that's perfect. I love those. Really cool. And you can find these at heartbeathotsauce.com. heartbeathotsauce.com. Oh, and it's even got a heat scale on the back. Mild, medium, hot, extra hot. It says this is medium. This says that this is hot. Surprise. And this says, wow, this is medium hot. I would have never thought this blueberry would have been hotter than the jalapeno, but evidently it is. But really cool stuff. Thank you so much. Pretty cool. So good stuff there. Anxious to try that stuff out. Put the blueberry on pancakes. Man, that does sound good. That does sound good. Or some keto muffins or something like that. Because we make blueberry keto muffins already. And this might go perfect with that. Give a little kick to it. Just piddling line of sauces and rubs. I'd put that shit on everything. I'd like to do that stuff too. I don't know how you would go about doing that. I guess I could talk to me and old Tango Joe. We talk every now and then. I wouldn't mind asking him how he went about doing that. You know, where do you get the bottling and the labeling and all that stuff, you know? I need to get something started. Join my Facebook group, Uncensored Chili Consumers. I'll write that down. Matt, good morning, brother. How's everything going? All right, so that's the mailbag this morning. I appreciate that, Matt. Thank you very much. Hope things are going well for you and your family. I did my very first pork butt last weekend, and Bought the rub from Cabela's. To my surprise, it said to mix it. Super busy. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, Matt. Pretty cool. All right, let's talk about the cook a little bit, and then I got a topic I want to talk to you about, or revisit because we've already visited it before. I did a little pork butt testing yesterday with 2 pork butts, trying to dial in some kind of competition technique that I want to use for pulled pork. Me and Harley's going to do the Big Pig Jig in Vienna, Georgia this year, which is pretty big. I mean, it's a big barbecue competition. Pretty big, anyway. Big for this area. And, I want us to go and have a good time, and just enjoy it, not expecting to win anything. But at the same time, I'm a competitor and I like winning. So we're going to do the best we can at it anyway. But yesterday, day before yesterday, I went and bought 2 pork butts, 2 roughly 9-pound butts. One, I trimmed competition style. In other words, I trimmed the money muscle where it was exposed, trimmed around the horn, and all that, seasoned it really well. The other one, I pretty much just left it. Didn't do a whole lot to it. Trimmed a little bit of the fat cap off and just left it. Just to see, what the differences were going to be and that kind of thing. And so I cooked them yesterday at 250 degrees. I started those at 9:30 yesterday morning. And I misted them every hour, but I just misted them with water. And at about 2:30 yesterday afternoon, I wrapped them. But I wrapped them in a way that I've never wrapped one before. Most time I just wrap them in foil, really, really tight, put them back on. But yesterday, I put them in a tinfoil pan and then just wrapped the whole pan. I put both of them in the same pan. It was a big pan. And put some butter and honey on them and then wrapped them in foil and put them back on. Still kept it at 250. And probably by 5:30, they were done. They were probably done at 5 o'clock. I probably could have pulled them a little early at 5 o'clock, but I checked them at 5:30 and they were done, really done. So pulled them off. I posted some pictures yesterday of the money muscle on Instagram, and it transfers it over to Facebook. So if you haven't seen those pictures, check them out. But the smoke ring was incredible. It was probably a 1/4-inch smoke ring around that thing. And that's why I wanted to expose that money muscle, was to try to get a smoke ring around 90% of it anyway. But turned out really good. Everything was really tender. The only thing was, like, the money muscle turned out better on the one that I exposed, but then the tubes and everything turned out better from the other one. So maybe we can mismatch those and get, a whole box, but I'm going to keep working on it. But anyway, now we've got tons of pulled pork to eat today and tomorrow. So if you want some pulled pork, come on over. We've got plenty. But it turned out really good. Really happy with the cook. I cooked it on the Traeger Pro 780. And why did I cook it on the Traeger and not the Grilla? Well, because we're going to be cooking on Traegers at the competition. So I want to use kind of what we're going to be cooking on, or something similar to what we're going to be cooking on when we go to that competition. Harley's actually got a Traeger Com 190 that we're going to cook on. It's on a trailer. And what that is actually 2 Traeger extra larges, Traeger XLs on a trailer. So you got one on one side and then one on the other, and they open to the outside. So together, that's going to be about 1,700 square inches of cooking surface. So that'll be really nice to have. So that's what we're going to cook on. But again, what I did do, just knowing your grill, is I know that on the 780, the end towards the grease can cooks hotter than the other end, the hopper end. So I put the one that I didn't trim very much on the hot end and put the one that I trimmed on the cooler end with the money muscle away from the heat. And so I think that helped it cook a little more evenly. So turned out really good. I was pretty happy with it. Still a few more tweaks to go and all that, but getting better with it. So David, thank you. Oh, let's see here what we got. I put together some killer pulled pork nachos Friday. That sounds really good. Very good. Has Traeger upgraded the XLs yet? Stephen, that's a good question. I don't know if they have upgraded. I don't know if they've upgraded them or not. My Traeger smokes like crazy between igniting and preheating. Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. I cleaned mine out yesterday, and then when I fired it up, it smoked. I mean, just billowing smoke for about the first, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes. But that's perfectly normal. No big deal. So that cook really turned out really good. A lot of people did some good cooks yesterday. I saw Eddie Hanks. He cooked some briskets and I think some sausage, but all of his stuff looked phenomenal. Turned out great. A lot of people did some pretty cool cooks yesterday. They were posting on social media yesterday. So that's really just about all I use social media for, is looking to see what all you guys are doing and, you know, what everybody's cooking and getting ideas and stuff like that. So as long as my neighbors don't call the fire department. What do I think of Meat Church rubs? I think they're phenomenal. And my brother has worked with Matt Pittman some, and says he's a great guy, you know, down to earth guy, and you know, has really been a pretty good friend to Harley and all that. But I think they're really good rubs. And what I like about them is, you know, a lot of rubs, especially an all-purpose rub, for most companies, if you've had one all-purpose rub, you've had most of them, which it's like a Lowry seasoned salt almost. But, and don't get me wrong, Meat Church has some rubs that are similar to that. But then, like their Holy Cow, their Honey Hog, the Honey Hog, I'm telling you, I could eat it with a spoon. And then they've got the Honey Hog Hot, which has a little heat to it. Phenomenal. And then they've got stuff that's different, you know, like, the fajita seasoning. I've got the fajita seasoning in there. That fajita seasoning is pretty good. The D's Nuts pecan rub, different. It's really different. But it also has a pretty cool flavor to it if you're looking for something different. So give that a try. But the Gospel is a all-purpose rub. But I like their rubs. I think they're really good. Matter of fact, commercial rubs, you know, that's probably the ones that I would go with for me. Not saying you should, but for me, that's probably what I would go with. Now, BBQ has some good rubs as well, and some good sauces. They've got some really good sauces as well. And they come in bigger containers, but they're kind of like this with squeeze tops on them. They're really good. I used Fogo charcoal in the pit barrel yesterday for the first time. Really liked it. That's good. Bad Byron's butt rub. There's all kinds of rubs out there. It's just, experiment with them, see what you like, see what you don't. You're going to find that some are really different, and you're going to find that some taste just like other rubs you've already had, But I mean, let's be honest, there's only so many ways you can put spices together and try to make it taste a little different. After 25 years of diabetes, I've tried so hard to stay away from sweet rubs and sauces. Tried some yesterday and didn't like any sauce. Yeah, I'm not a big sweet sauce person. I grew up on a vinegar-based barbecue sauce, so I'm thinking today I might make a coffee rub. I love coffee rub. That's one of my favorite rubs, to be honest with you. And something you can kind of base flavors off of. Again, I've said it before. I've bought it at Lowe's before, but the Fire and Flavor coffee rub is phenomenal. Tango Joe's Midnight Espresso, very good. Lane's Barbecue has a really good coffee rub. Stephen helped a good friend yesterday cook for his mom and dad's 50th anniversary. That's awesome. 50 years. Cool stuff. So that's kind of what was going on yesterday. The day started out nice, but then it got to where it was storming a little bit. I kind of knew it ahead of time, so I went ahead and put my grill under the shelter there. So it was no big deal, and just listened to some nice, relaxing music and had a good day out there. It was pretty good. Walked into a different butcher shop. He had tri-tip, picanha, Terrace Major. Felt like Christmas morning. Yeah, I bet. Mark Goin, good morning. Good to see you this morning. All right, one of the topics I wanted to talk about this morning, or revisit, because we visited it before, but I was kind of blown away by this. Uh-oh, I don't know if I can find it now. Did it go away? I might have lost it, because I wanted you to read you some of these stupid comments on here. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know why Facebook has got to where it'll just refresh your stuff, whether you want it refreshed or not. And I'll be honest with you, I have gotten to where Facebook, the company, Google, YouTube, the company, and the way they do things, I mean, I really despise. But, the only choice is to not do a channel. So, what do you do? I don't know if I can find it now. Anyway, I'll try to get to the point while I still look for it, because it was, let's see if I can. There's the woman. Well, Anyway, I felt sorry for the lady. She's trying to participate, you know, in one of these Facebook groups. And forgive me if I don't see your comments right now because I'm on Facebook trying to find that that post. I don't know if it was in this one or not. Maybe it is. Anyway, I felt sorry for her because she was trying to just participate, you know, in one of these groups and share and, you know, create conversation and all that stuff. And she created a conversation, all right. She posted about, you know, how she was cleaning her grill and enjoyed cleaning her grill. What was that lady's name? Marilyn Mayfield. You know, she enjoyed cleaning her grill as much as she did cleaning her car. And man, people just started ripping her a new one. There it is. Found it. See if I can see the comments, because there were so many. Yeah, there were so many comments that the admins just stopped, wouldn't let anybody else comment on it anymore. And now I can't see the comments. I don't want to see the picture. I want to see the comments. 17 more comments. So here we go. Let me go back to you guys for a minute. Have you ever heard of making a rub with a gallon of water and using it like a brine? Put my pork butt in it overnight and then use a coffee rub dry from Traeger Joe's. I mean, I had, you know, I mean, really all a brine is, well, I say that. A lot of brines, depending on the salt content or whatever, you could use as a rub. All you're doing is diluting it into a liquid form so it surrounds, you know, that meat and absorbs into the meat and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that's not out of the ordinary, really. Facebook knows better than you. Oh, you're right, Jim. They do think that they know better about what I want than I do. That's exactly what they think. Mark, you're exactly right. I tell you, I get frustrated because to get these videos out, I have to use Google and YouTube. And while I appreciate the fact that it's there, what I don't appreciate is having to put up with political views of the companies that go against my political views in order to put the videos out. That's what bothers me about it. That's what bothers me about it. And what's scary is they've been allowed to get that big to where there's nothing you can do about it. So let's get to this poor lady. By the way, I sent her a message this morning. I'll tell you about that in just a second. So she just shows a picture of her grill before and after. And really her grill before, the picture before, looks like my grill usually looks after 3 cooks. just a little bit of dust in there, a little bit of, you know, spots here and there of a little grease, you know, no big deal. You can tell that she keeps it clean, in other words. And then afterwards, it's cleaner than my grill. Now she's using an all natural cleaner. It's from Traeger, all natural cleaner. It's food safe. There's no harsh chemicals in it. It's like from plants and stuff. It's no harsh chemicals. Okay. Keep that in mind. There's no harsh chemicals in that cleaner. It's all natural. It even says right there on the thing, all natural cleaner. And she says, I would rather clean my Traeger than my car. That's all she said. And she shared pictures of before and after. Before cleaning, after cleaning. She got, I mean, they hammered her. Old Troy, why? One guy says, would never use any cleaners inside. It's seasoned, he says. The other guy says, totally agree. I like it to be seasoned. First of all, let's talk about that term. Now, my grill, don't get me wrong, my grill has a buildup in it. You know, all of them. Grilla Grills, Traegers, all of them. Kamado. And people call that seasoned, you know, seasoned. But this is not a cast iron skillet. It's not a, you know, when you season a cast iron skillet, you're seasoning it. It's a porous material that is soaking in those oils and allowing it to create a non-stick surface to the point where before long, you know, like a brand new Lodge skillet today has little dimples all over it. But after a while, it will become like a slick, smooth surface, almost shiny when you turn it up to the light. And it becomes non-stick. Your grill lid is never going to be a non-stick surface. It's not the same. It's not the same. Now, the word seasoned, you know, they're meaning it's got a buildup of soot and carbon, ash, a little grease. It builds up with that grease, and then all the ash, smoke, fumes, carbon, all that stuff sticks up there to it. That's what they're calling seasoned. I like it to be seasoned. I normally do that too. Whatever. One more reply to that. Like this guy. I did the first deep clean after 9 years when I replaced the controller and fire pot. I treated it like a cast iron skillet. Wiped a layer of lard on the inside and ran it up to 350 degrees. How did that thing not catch on fire? It's not a cast iron skillet. It's not cast iron. This guy says, I will never do that. Just scrape the grease tray and chimney. Vacuum the rest. Keep the seasoning on it. Will also protect the steel from rusting. I like mine seasoned till stuff starts leaking out. Please listen to this. Listen to this guy. I like mine seasoned till stuff starts leaking out of it at all the joints onto the floor. Then I'll remove the auger and hopper, degrease, and pressure wash. Did mine yesterday. until stuff starts leaking out of the joints onto the floor. That's the kind of guy that you see on these videos with their grill on fire, because what he has created is the perfect environment for a grease fire. Then he gives it a good high temp run before use. You washed all the seasoning off of it. This guy's got a little emoji. Why? Why would you do that? This guy says, you burn it. You got to let it stay seasoned. Using liquids and chemicals to clean the inside is not a good idea. Keep in mind, this is an all-natural cleaner sold by the grill company that she's cleaning the grill with. It causes rust in two ways. Liquids cause metal to rust, as well as removing all the grease in the barrel. Well, all the grease in the barrel, jackass, causes what they call a grease fire. A thin layer of grease, seasoning, what he says, prevents rust. I know you meant well, but you are doing more harm than good to your grill by cleaning it. All you need to clean the inside of the barrel is a plastic putty knife to get excess grease out and a vacuum to remove the ash. And now she's trying to apologize for her post. And finally, an admin comes on and says, kind of surprised that a thread about cleaning a Traeger would generate drama and arguing, so I'm turning off the comments. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of crazy. And I say it all the time. Oh, I got to plug. Hold on, guys. I got to plug this. I got to plug my computer up. The battery's dying. I thought it was plugged up. Technical difficulties. You'd have thought my production crew would have done all that. Let's see what you guys got. Mark Goins says, I saw that post, just laughed at the thought of seasoning steel. It's the Traeger Grill Owners Group. Jim says, the last thing I want is that bad smoke at the beginning sticking to my smoker. Yeah, seasoning. That's good, Mark. So seasoning, in other words, crud. That's because that's what it is. And imagine what his house looks like. Yeah. Steven says, I kind of agree with the seasoning on a Yoder with a 1/4-inch steel. It does help with the rust. I just lightly scrape mine down some. I clean my house by rubbing, yeah, by rubbing bacon grease over everything and lighting a match. Yeah. I've never had grease in the barrel of my Silverbac. Guess my grease tray works too good. I don't have a pellet smoker, so I don't know how they are on the inside. Are some of them painted or bare metal? I think most of them are painted, except for the ones that have stainless steel on the inside. But I have seen too many videos and pictures, and my brother has been to too many people's houses that are having issues with their grill. And it's caused because they don't clean them, and they always use the excuse that they want it to stay seasoned. No, it's because you're lazy and you don't want to get in there and clean it. I had a coworker at work ask me the other day how many grills I had. I told her 7. I got 7 grills, and they've got 1. She said, "How in the world do you keep all of those grills clean?" Well, it's not hard. Some of these guys on here that were berating this lady have got 1 grill, and they're too lazy to clean it. I got 7 grills, and don't get me wrong, like the one I cooked on yesterday, it needs to be cleaned today. Probably 2, the Chimp needs to be cleaned too. The rest of them are clean. The rest of them right now are ready to go. Now, when I say clean, I don't mean you can eat off the inside of the barrel, but I mean they're clean. There's no grease in there, very minimal grease. It is a grill. I use one of the grills almost every day, but they're clean, sanitary. Now, do I scrape off every little bit of the crud that's on my lid and all that? No, it stays on there. It's not really thick. Now, a couple of times, twice, I think, in 2.5 years with the Silverbac, I have actually cleaned the lid back down to the stainless steel. I burn it. Miraculously, it still cooked great. And some of these guys that say that's flavor, they actually say that's flavor. The only way that can be flavor is if you're taking that piece of meat and rubbing it all over the inside of your lid before you cook it. How asinine is that? Think about what you're saying, you know? And Dean, that's what. So that's the point I was trying to make. Thank you for bringing me back to where I was. If you clean after every cook, it doesn't matter how many grills you have. That's right. And so that's what I do. Maybe not that afternoon, but the next day I'll go out there and clean it. And then also right before, like during the startup process, I'll start it up while it's warming up or whatever. I got a little, like for the Silverbac and the Chimp, I got a little stainless steel polish. I'll squirt it on there, get me a rag and wipe it, Clorox wipes are great. If you got a little grease on there, you know how you got a spoon and you stir something up and you lay it on your grill or something, well, then that gets sticky. Clorox wipes takes all that stuff right off. A little container of Clorox wipes, wipe it, a little spray, wipe it off, 5 minutes. I can take any of my pellet grills. I can take the rack out, the drip tray out, the heat deflector out, vacuum it out, put everything back in, replace the foil on my drip pan, and be ready to cook in 5 minutes. It literally takes that 5 minutes. That's it. And if you do that all the time, there's not a whole gut. This guy talking about he waits till the grease is dripping out of the seams. I don't understand it. What would you say to a restaurant? Like if you walked into their kitchen and some of these restaurants look like that guy's grill. And they say, well, we want our oil to be seasoned. We want our flat top to be seasoned. We want our oven to be seasoned. We don't want to clean all that seasoning off. You know? And that's the way I look at my grills, especially maybe it's because of the channel, but I know that I'm showing my grills to you guys. And I don't want my grill to look like that guy's grill with grease oozing out of the seams. But also, let's be honest. Let's use some common sense here. There's an open flame in those pellet grills. Now, say in a stick burner, an offset smoker, you've got the flame part, the hot coals in one box, and then just the smoke goes into the other, full-size container. That's a little bit different. Now, I still don't want grease buildup in there. I'm fixing to clean all that grease out. I'm not talking about to the bare metal, but I don't want standing grease in there. But there's not a danger of like a full-fledged grease fire. But in a pellet grill, you've got an open flame in the bottom of your pellet grill. Whew. Anyway, I sent that lady a message this morning and just told her, you're doing the right thing by cleaning your grill. Don't let those guys bother you. Keep piddling. I hope she sees it. Because they were, brutal. I don't get it. A seasoning, flavor. I'll never understand that. That goes back to when people say about the fat absorbing back into the meat. It doesn't absorb back into the meat. It's impossible to do. Oil and water don't mix. That fat, which is oil, is not going to absorb into meat, which is 90% water. Here's the other thing. If all that fat helps prevent rust, why don't these companies just get a big old vat of lard and just smear all over it before they send it to you? Go ahead. Just offer the option of pre-seasoning. Would you like your grill pre-seasoned? Sure. All right. Hey, Bob, get them gloves over there and just smear that lard all over the inside for them. It's not cast iron. Robin and I stopped at a restaurant on the way to Myrtle Beach, and grease was literally dripping from a kitchen window. What in the world? Just finished trimming and seasoning my first pork butt. Elvin, that's awesome. Share some pictures. Let us know how it goes. Very cool. Stino, good morning. Chef, good morning. Sitting at 74 degrees internal. I have a long way to go. But it's going to be an enjoyable ride, Elvin. I can't get my grill. I've used 4 jars of garlic salt on the walls, but when I lick it, It still tastes like metal. That's good. That's good. I like it. That's good. What did that one guy say he did? He rubbed after 9 years? What'd he say? I did the first deep clean after 9 years. When I replaced the controller and fire pot, I treated it like cast iron. Wiped a layer of lard on the inside and then ran it up to 350 degrees. Whew. Craziness. Big Frog Barbecue and Cooking. Good to have you this morning. Yeah, rub lard on the inside. Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. I'm going to try that today. Y'all, I'll tell you what, I'll try it. 10 o'clock this morning, I'll try it. 10 o'clock Eastern time. So at 10 o'clock Eastern, wherever you're at in your time zones, look outside and see if you can see a tall flame, because it's probably going to be coming from my backyard. I'm finna lube it up with lard and just turn it on high. Just re-season. After that, he called 911. Oh, man. I don't know if a garden hose is going to do that justice, Dean. Kyle, you might need to make that 955. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. So what's everybody cooking today? I think Jace is going to cook a chuck roast. I'm not cooking anything because I've got that probably, those two butts probably yielded probably 12 pounds. I don't know. I got a lot of pork butt to eat today, so I'm not cooking anything. And that'll be lunch for tomorrow, I'm sure. The fundamental question is, why do people feel the need to spew their expertise on everything? Because it makes them feel smarter, Mike. It makes them feel smarter. And it justifies their practices. If they tell you what they're doing and they tell you that that's the only right way to do it, that means that they're doing it right. Just burgers today. Nothing wrong with burgers. I smoked some meatballs yesterday. Nothing going today. Come on, Stephen. I got plenty. And you can take some back home with you too. I must say my shop vac has seen more use over the past few months than it's ever seen. Yeah. Yeah. That shop vac is a must have, really, to be honest with you. Here, let me ask you guys something. And I didn't really pay attention until I got a pellet grill. But years ago, when I say years ago, 20, 30 years ago, like my daddy had a shop vac, my uncle had a shop vac, you know, I knew men that had a shop vac when I was a kid. But back then, shop vacs, there was no bag in a shop vac. You could suck up anything in a shop vac. It could be ashes, it could be dirt, it could be water, it could be, I mean, a shop vac was basically just an empty, it was like a big bucket. You could put anything you want to in there. Now, I bought this shop vac and it's got a bag in it. I'm like, what in the world is a bag in there for? But if I don't use the bag, it sucks the ashes in and then blows them right out the other side. It doesn't put them in the container. So that's kind of weird. So when I'm out of bags, I just make sure the exhaust is pointed the other way and it blows it straight out of my grill into the yard out there somewhere. But I guess that's the difference between a wet vac and a wet dry vac, I guess. But I don't ever remember anybody ever having a shop vac that had a bag in it. Maybe I'm wrong. Eddie Hanks, good morning, brother. Excellent cook yesterday. I used the bucket head vac that fits on the top of a 5-gallon bucket. Well, when this one right here, it's a shop vac brand, but when it dies, I may go that route, Dean. I may go that route. Never had a shop vac with a bag. Yeah, evidently it's a thing now. I don't know if it used to be or not, or people just didn't use them, but I don't ever remember any man that I knew when I was a kid that had a shop vac that had a bag in the shop vac. You could just suck up whatever you wanted to in that thing. But now mine has a bag, but if you want to suck up liquid, you have to take the bag out. If you want to do dry, you have to put the bag in, or it just blows it out the other side. That caught his shop vac. Yeah, caught his shop vac on fire because he sucked up hot coals into the bag, and then the bag caught on fire. Yeah, you need to, Kyle. You need to get some lard and just rub it all over the inside of your shop vac, and then nothing will stick to it. But then, it's got to be heated. So light a match and throw it in there. Let it heat up all that lard, and then dump it out, and you're ready to go. I love it. You guys are the greatest. All right, guys, we've been on here an hour. I'm finna head off today and just relax. I'll be honest with you. Need a little prayers. I'm going on 7 days now. Last Saturday, my old heart went back into AFib, and I've been in AFib for 7 straight days. In other words, if you're not familiar, my heart's it's irregular, jumping all over the place, beating. And I think 2 years ago, I had a procedure done that fixed it. But evidently I need it fixed again. And the doctor said that it may take a couple of times before. Basically, they go in there and cauterize around certain areas that those little electrical impulses cause your heart to beat. Well, there's some impulses that shouldn't be there that's causing it to beat irregular. So they cauterize them and put scar tissue in there, and supposedly those impulses won't go across the scars. Well, they're still going across somehow. So I may have to go back in and do that procedure again. It's happened about 4 times since I had that procedure, but every time I've been able to get it to jump back by just doing exercises and getting my heart rate up and straining and doing all that. And so far I hadn't had a heart attack, so that's worked. But for the past week, every couple of days, yesterday I did push-ups and tricep dips and ran and had a 50-pound bag of concrete out there. I picked it up and walked around out in the backyard with it on, and it didn't do a thing. So, and it's just draining. it feels like, even sitting here, you know, if I sit still, it feels like my body's shaking because it's just, you know. So I'm just going to chill out today and probably go see the doctor tomorrow, and I guess he'll refer me back to my cardiologist and see what we're going to do about it. But I got to get it fixed because I'm starting to feel drained. So 7 days is too long for that. So I'll keep you updated and see what happens. But the show must go on, so that's what we're going to do. Eddie says, I'd like to see you do a just making bacon video. 7-day cure on a pork belly. Rinse and smoke it on the pellet grill. That's interesting, Eddie. I like that. That's something different. That's something different. I like it. I like it. I'll do some thinking on that, Eddie, and see if I can work something like that up. That'd be good. Appreciate that, Kyle. Mark, thank you. All you guys, I appreciate it. Maybe I'll go in there and spread some lard all over that thing, and maybe I've lost my seasoning. Appreciate it, guys. I'll keep you updated and let you know how things go. Yeah, it's missing a lot of beats. It'll beat about when it gets like this, I think my heart rate gets up to 100 and something beats a minute, 120 beats a minute, something like that. I mean, it's crazy. But they're not like full beats. They're, you know, it'll beat real quick for, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and then it'll just stop 2, 3, 4 seconds, and then it'll beat and stop, and then beat 5 times and then stop. And I mean, it's just random, you know. So, and my daddy had it, my uncle, my aunts, everybody. I think everybody in my family on my daddy's side has had AFib. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just something, something I got to deal with. But hopefully I can get it fixed, and I mean, see what happens. Appreciate that, guys. Thank y'all very much. But just want to mention that to you guys because later on down the road, that might mean that I miss a couple videos or something because I'm, getting that worked on. But again, I'll keep you updated on all that stuff. But keep rocking on. That's all you can do, right? So I hope everybody's cooks turn out good today. Being on Facebook can't help. Yeah, you're probably right about that. I hope your cooks turn out good today. Hope your week starts off well. And I'll see you Wednesday. And we'll talk about what's been going on the first half of the week. So keep me updated with pictures and all that stuff of what y'all are cooking today and what y'all have going on the first half of the week. Elvin, keep us updated on that pork butt, my friend. Jace, let me see some pictures of that chuck roast. I know Eddie's going to be sending pictures out of all the stuff that he's cooking. Y'all check him out. And Mike, yeah, you can feel it. Mike, I know exactly the instance that it happens to me because it feels like somebody just, like if you ran off of electricity, it feels like somebody just pulled the cord out of the wall. I mean, just like that, everything is just, and I mean, it's just, I can feel it instantly. Yeah. And you can feel it. It feels like something like jumps in your chest, Well, that's the way I've been feeling for 7 days. It's not a good feeling. It's not an at ease feeling either, because, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, when I go to sleep at night, I'm thinking, all right, well, I hope I wake up in the morning, So we'll see how it goes, but I'll keep you updated and probably take a trip to the doctor tomorrow, hopefully, and see what they say, and we'll go from there. So either way, I'm going to keep piddling. I hope you do too. So see you Wednesday, if not before. Until next time, we'll be piddling. See you guys. Have a good week.